I'm back again. I'll tell you, watching the news lately, it's starting to get real annoying. I was been reading up on the whole Ferguson, Missouri thing, and the interesting thing is the science actually backs up what the officer says. Mind you, as many years as I spent working in emergency services, I prefer to think I have a more balanced look at things. I've never, I guess, never been abused by police, so I don't have a negative outlook on them. Yes, they've helped me out when I've needed it, but that's beyond the point. From a purely scientific standpoint, cop was right. That's the sad part. And all these people are now blowing stuff up. Well, I mean, not currently. They had these huge riots when it first happened, yada, yada, yada. We all know that. Now, they're getting ready to decide whether or not they're going to indict the poor officer who basically had his whole life screwed over because of this, doing his job, unfortunately. Now, they're getting ready to do this whole indictment thing. If they don't indict him, there's going to be more riots, they're saying. Makes my head hurt. You know, what can I say? What these people are failing to grasp, what these, I don't have a good word I'm willing to put on public here, because, and not even in racial terms, but just idiots is probably the best word I can come up with. They barely qualify as people when it comes right down to it, in my personal opinion. And it has nothing to do with race or gender or anything else. It has to do with how you act towards your fellow human beings. Who are you hurting when you riot? Seriously. Who are you hurting? Are you hurting the police department? No. You're actually benefiting them in some ways, because all these cops that now are getting called in for this overtime are going to get some really nice paychecks. They're going to have one hell of a Christmas, let me tell you. You know, all sorts of nice presents there. You're hurting yourselves. You're hurting your neighborhoods. You're hurting the people that keep your neighborhoods viable. If I was a small business owner, or any business owner for that matter, the last place I'd keep my business will be in a place that has rioted, well, at this point, going on twice. It hasn't happened yet, and I acknowledge that, but if I owned a business there, I'd have folded up and moved the you-know-what out. I censor myself occasionally just for public consumption. It doesn't happen too often, appreciate it. I wouldn't keep my business there. Why would I? People don't appreciate it. Obviously they don't appreciate it. If they're going to come in, burn it down, tear it down, steal all the stuff that I have in there, you're acting like a bunch of spoiled freaking children. No, actually, kids don't even act that badly most of the time. Subhuman level. I mean, really, we're talking like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. You're bordering on that level there. It doesn't make any sense. Just really, sit down and think about it. Within a 5-minute walk of my house, I have three corner stores, several bars, a shoe repair place, a barber shop or two, an insurance place, restaurant, bank, business. Most of them, actually, I can honestly say all of them, are local. Now, something like that happened here. We had some riots and places got busted up, burned out, stuff stolen. I wouldn't blame them for closing up shop and leaving. Suddenly I go from having all this convenience of everything right in my neighborhood to nothing. Who have we hurt? Ourselves. The problem is, these idiots can't see past their own righteous indignation to see the bigger picture, to see who they're really hurting. Riots don't help anybody. Riots make you look like a damn fool. Riots do nothing but hurt your neighborhood. Am I saying that, everybody's right all the time, we shouldn't protest? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Freedom of speech is one of those things we're guaranteed. It's what lets me do stuff like this. It's what lets people like you go out and hold up signs and say you don't like something. It's what lets you post what you want on Facebook, your opinions. I may not agree with them, but I will say that yes, I will fight to defend that freedom. I'm good with that. The problem is when you take it too far and you start damaging and destroying and hurting people and, God forbid, killing people. What does that do? It hurts your neighborhood. It hurts you. And you and you and you and you. Because I'm sure more than one person will watch this. Not a huge hit that hasn't gone viral, but that's okay. It doesn't need to go viral. I've said what I have to say, and people see it. I'm engaging in my First Amendment freedom of speech. It's pretty cool. Gotta love the internet for that. The problem is when people take that freedom of speech and use it as facts. What have I said here today? I've said that I have several local businesses right nearby that I can walk to. Okay, that's a fact. You can fact check that if you actually know where I live. Don't say where I live. That's just my personal preference because I have family. I don't want to have to injure anybody that wants to hurt my family. However, when you take an opinion from somebody who is taking an incident and using it for their own personal or political gain, I won't mention names like Al Sharpton or anybody else like that, because then I get called racist. I mention one so you know the type of people I'm talking about. I don't give a damn what color your skin is. I don't give a flying crap who you go home to or who you love. The point to life is we take care of ourselves, we do the best we can, we help each other out, and we all get by. Rioting is the exact opposite. If you don't agree with something that happened, say something about it. Get involved in your local government. Ferguson, the big thing they're talking about in the news was that it's something like, I don't know, 90%, 80%, 85% black, 15% white. I don't know. Personally, I really don't give a damn. Color of your skin should not dictate who you are. If you people are so concerned about how your city is being run, why aren't you out there running for office? Why aren't you showing up at the meetings and expressing your concerns? Everything I found says that nobody bothered beforehand. The sad part is, I couldn't even tell you the guy's name off the top of my head because there was so much other crap involved. Before Mr. Brown, that's what it was, got shot and died, and all the little buddies there decided to say that it was not an appropriate shooting on the part of the police, which I've read the reports. I've also read the lamestream media, which is another issue here. If the science bears it out, I'm sorry, the cop was right. If you're coming at me, and I am a law enforcement officer, which I'm not, I'm just saying, in this situation, if I was a law enforcement officer, and you're coming at me with what appears to be lethal intent, you're getting shot dead. It's how it works. It's how it's always worked. This has never been different. How far back do you need to go in history to look and see that it's been this way forever and ever and ever? It's not a new concept, people. You attack somebody who is maintaining peace and order, chances are you're going to be dead. Granted, officers now carry tasers. I think it's a cool invention. Of course, everybody's up in arms. Oh, you're going to give somebody a heart attack and kill them. You know what? At least it gives them a chance, because if they get shot with a damn bullet, they're dead. I swear to God, some people are idiots. But if any of you watching this are in or near Ferguson or know people there, pass this on to them. I'm more than happy to have them, open a dialogue here, because I'd love to see just once in this country science prove out what actually happened, the courts work with that, and people say, okay, we were wrong. We assumed because of what people said that this is what happened, but now from the evidence, the empirical evidence that is put in front of us, we realize that what we thought was wrong. So let's go on about our lives and get back to putting things back together. Let's move forward to making Ferguson, Missouri a better place. How do you do that? get involved. I said it before, I'll say it again. Get involved. Be a part of that government. Be a part of that machine that you're complaining about. If you don't stand up and let your voice be heard, you have no right whatsoever to complain about how things work. If you didn't get out there earlier this month and vote, you really have no right to complain about anything. I had this conversation the other day about minimum wage. A group of people who openly said they didn't bother voting and that they don't bother getting involved in their local government, or any government for that matter, told me that I was wrong because I don't believe that increasing minimum wage is helpful. See ya. You're wrong. Get over yourselves. If you want to make a change, do it the right way. Sticks and stones, that's caveman ways, and we are so far beyond that. Prove yourselves to be real, legitimate human beings and American citizens. We do things a certain way here. Maybe it's not always right, but you know what? It's a way that works for the better good of most people. I'm the first to admit, I flat out said, if the government keeps going the way it is, they're going to push us to a second American Revolution. I've said it. I say it just now. I said it again. It's out there for everybody to see. This is just my observations as one person. The thing is, if you don't get involved, it's going that way. If you don't like where it's headed, get out there. Get involved. Go to the meetings. Get involved with your local political group so that you can become a part of this and make it better. I do this almost every month now. I'm going to all the I'm going to the village board meetings. I'm doing my damnedest to make the county legislature meetings, to stand up and say, hey, we need to make a change. This is how it's done. That being said, we'll see what happens. If I was a betting man, or if I actually had money to bet with, I would bet he's not getting indicted, and there's going to be big old riots, a bunch more people are going to be dead. That's how my take on it. But then again, as with everything else, this is in my opinion. Good luck. Get involved.